What's poppin', people? It's Dante, walking down Chestnut Street, Ricoh GR3, and I'm thinking about movement in street photography, how to move on the street, how to groove on the street, how to play this game. It's a dance when you're on the street. You know, when you're walking, you have to be in sync with everything around you. You have to look, you know, down the street. You have to observe things that are happening in front of you and react like a fluid, you know, conductor of an orchestra. You know, everything around you, all of the people around you, they're merely players on a stage. And yeah, welcome to the theater of life, right? And when you walk around, you observe and you react, but you move like water. You're fluid. You know, the camera is an extension of the hand, of the eyes, and you'll be surprised what you will find. But you need to be ready. You need to be moving and grooving when you're on the street. You're not sitting around fishing all the time. You're mostly, you know, using your two legs, and you're in sync, and you're watching the feet of others, and you'll know when to press the shutter. You know, when you're moving on the street, it's important to be fluid. It's important to not be obtrusive. It's important to have good body language. And when I mean good body language, I mean be loose with the camera, right? I mean, it's a very simple thing. I think of this camera as a magic wand, and I wave it around and I'm moving, and I'm not so obvious with what I'm doing. I'm typically, you know, holding it out in front of me, but a lot of the times I act as a tourist, right? You have that sort of tourist technique. You look up, you look down, you make the shot. You know, if something's to the left of you, don't face them and make the picture. You know, when I photograph things to the left of me, a lot of the times I'm facing to the right, or I'm facing straight on, and I'm aware of where my camera is going to be placed because I have an LCD screen, and I can actually see the camera on the back of the screen there, right? I can see the view on the back of the screen. So you know, there's simple things to consider, right? And when I hold the camera, I place my middle finger on the shutter. What this allows me to do is it allows me to move the camera a little bit more fluidly. It allows me to make pictures fluidly. It allows me to go from horizontal orientation to vertical orientation when need be. And I believe that it's a very simple thing to consider: the movement of your body, the movement on the street, the movement of other people. You have to be aware of these things and have a quick reaction time. But it'll become like second nature when you practice over and over again. It's just I think a big part of the game is the way that you move, right? So growing up, I was a skateboarder. I've got that sort of sidewalk surfer mentality, right? I can maneuver the streets very fluidly, and I haven't had a confrontation in months and months. I can't even remember the last time. It's just about body language. You know, you can get really close to people without them knowing you're making the photo because of the way that you carry yourself. You know, as much as a visual game street photography is, it's a physical pleasure. So just consider the way that you move, consider the way that you position your camera and the way that you hold it, because ultimately this is a very important thing to consider for street photography. Yeah, that's all.